Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine.
Good evening. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian repeater station. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I've unlocked the production schedule.
Really? She just used the same password? Maybe those radio computer guys aren't that paranoid after all.
Fortress accident. Is there any? Thank you and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. With a quiet determination, the printer starts printing, a piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. A black crisscross of letters covers. It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about Whirl Untethered, a radio game. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule. Fortress Accident employed 18 people, the bulk of the team composed of writers and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligation. Why did Fortress Accident have so many concept artists? It didn't. No, definitely not. A few more producers could have come in handy though, especially when dealing with writers, some of whom routinely skip to work because of mental health issues and extremely unprofessional sleep schedules. One of them even managed to steal some valuable company property before skipping town for good. In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident SCA managed to burn through truly insane amounts of money. The first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Riyal, but then came the delays. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Riyal, with only half of the game finished. Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian investor. The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy. Not the concept artists. It wasn't even the writers, with their panic attacks and 3-hour lunches. It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development team. They tried to make a 4 million Riyal game with 400,000 in their bank account. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't. No, even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, never entirely disappeared. That is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads. No, it was good. Too good. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jim-born Suliswav Jalisa, decided that what Whirl Untethered needed was a secret mystical location at the extreme edge of the map. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor. So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined. Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here, but it may take a while. The lieutenant taps his foot impatiently, his arms folded tight against his chest. What if you broke the radio computer? What if it's never going to stop? And that's it. Well, yeah, that and the catastrophic data loss. On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and numbers seem to vanish into an eerie nothingness before the Egonian investors pulled the plug. What is clear is that one day an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front, just as the Wirral Untethered project was being compiled that day. When the project was returned, it was completely blank. The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss. Mysteriously enough, it seems that the offsite copy happened to be on-site when it was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the offsite copy and, well, keep it off-site. An explanatory note: S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not for me, not after 8 months of crunch. I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal. Her former colleagues would agree with you. The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later. 4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right, still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address, Sandbrun 1147. That's what the street sign next to the church said. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 12 unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap. Someone very important, a conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Tworg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Just look at those details. So much effort.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes...
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, see the prod schedule filament for details. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, the heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out three slogans: call in, tune out, Wirral untethered, and heat death of the universe. The full text reads, Heat death of the universe is the new black. Another note says, the biggest advancement in role-playing system. Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, I got that. What I meant was, what were they trying to achieve with this damn game? What were their ambitions? Because this here looks rather advanced.
This is way above your tiny little policeman head.
Okay, well, I think.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers. Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Königstein.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with heat death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real, immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... Yes, especially in here. Okay, let's keep moving.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? This must be the giant ice bear fridge that Suna mentioned. Look inside. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge, but where's the filament memory? It's not here. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Someone must have taken it. What does the note say?
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
Somewhere in the past, it's summer. 5-year-old Fifette lets go of her mother's hand, change jingling in her pockets as she hops towards the ice cream stand right across the plaza.
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic. police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
At least something good came out of all this.
Encased between two durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and, in the lower right corner, the man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. But the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge. 8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good-looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns. What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it.
Harrier. That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't. It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times. Like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
A name like armor.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines.
Lieutenant W. Freighter. The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're W. Freighter. There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors, out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant. Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens' militia. It means counting down to twos.
The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the revolution, which, in turn, was developed by
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kings like satellite officers and the additional freighter rank I already explained. You are given the title of satellite officer if your partner is quickly promoted through the ranks and you rise with him. You don't seem to be a satellite. No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
Still, he doesn't trust you completely. Such a small yet precious thing, expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly in amber. It reads.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there.
The numbers are not there for good measure. They have an administrative purpose.
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th is it's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but then again, it's a legendary district and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like
Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. Suddenly, names from your decomptage flash in your forebrain. He knew all those people, although they're not from his station. They must be big. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Suliswaf.
Sulislav. Wasn't he one of Miss Lucan and Kilda's co-workers? I remember coming across this name when we were reading her personal log. Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the iceberg fridge. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen.
It's like the production schedule you found. Only this one's an... You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum. It's signed by Lillian Carter and Idiot Doom Spiral. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache. There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away. Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye, a bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It's the same type of weapon, yes, a breech loader. An interesting coincidence that we should find something so similar. But I'm afraid our search for the real murder weapon must continue. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
Two cables up. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Very smart. Opening the lid should be much easier after the ice cream maker has defrosted.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. This orange machine is dead still. It has This orange machine is dead still. Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you once had as a police officer, it's eating them all up now. You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
I don't dispute that you have been charged with protecting the people of a particularly challenging district. But poverty does not make one a loser. Poverty is just poverty.
Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following a nervous breakdown. He now lives under a bridge, drinking and occasionally throwing excrement at passers-by, shouting, "I never loved that woman." When asked to comment, former colleagues objected to the theory that his psychological disintegration was precipitated by his wife leaving him. "It's because the Furrows lost that match," said Captain Ptolemy Price, once the man's superior officer. "It's because he couldn't get a big gun from acquisitions, and anyway, police work really burns you out after a while," Satellite Officer Jean-Vic Mayer, the deranged former cop's partner, commented. Sergeant Matt Torson, another former colleague, did not propose any theories, merely saying, "Whatever happened to him wasn't about birds. He got fucked, that's all." A few bricks have fallen off. Two cables up something close.
Very smart. Opening.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric. Ice squeaks beneath your Kavalzund multi-tool, but your fingers slip away from the tool and it's already unplugged. There's not much else to do other than wait for it to defrost or bulk up and get stronger. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices. The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying. Or
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs. You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected, but malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
always has to be the skeptic, this man. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello? Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safe.
you hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave painting for future archaeologists. No, that would be stupid. Still, it's good to have this dirt on you. Real men wear coal for makeup.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream. The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form. Even your body has failed you. It's a miracle you didn't injure yourself.
Proper weightlifting gloves would definitely afford a better grip. Yes?
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius. So what kind of dye are you looking for?
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind? Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's mostly they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking. I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die.
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shelves like stalagmites. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
It's light here, but dark in the yard at night.
It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone. It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home. Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids, and lately I've been seeing a lot of drunk.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at... Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it, not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items.
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Creative.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind. Rats scuttle in the dark rooms under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them.
That's understandable. Fantasies are serious things. The mind is the drawing board of history.
They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules. The usual, they ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time. Well, I did hear them talking at times.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time.
Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking.
Still, not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the game.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
Anything else? They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is. The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
They were just props. Why return them? Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take too long.
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime. A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back. Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
You should have known it. It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since. Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24. Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milieu. Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that. As if, what does she mean to get off on it?
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-Roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators. There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came. Yeah, the Atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. Actually, insects do have brains, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else? Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Fritte does the same thing.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Revachol ICT. And they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, eventually Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges. Maybe, because the taxidermist who made the bear definitely wasn't. Doing his job, I mean. He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
Sounds cool.
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
Maybe this wise and noble beast can guide you toward those amphetamines you've been craving.
I don't, officer. You should stay away from drugs and vision beasts. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
The temperature has dropped in the cover of the night. You see frost on the windows.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time. Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet. You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
But what drugs exactly?
He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Eventually, they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell was awful.
Even you can probably do better than that.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. That explains why you can call the whirling from the intercom, albeit I doubt that anyone responds.
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the doomed commercial area. The darkness of this place is there, too.
Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
Malignant entity? What does that even mean? Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity? Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see. The bookstore closes starting 2100. You'll have to do that tomorrow.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
Didn't we already talk about this? What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same. Rue de Saint-Guilain 10.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture, its ruins swallowed up. Yet it has a different address in the heart of the city.
This doesn't make any sense. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from? And what? Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from her face.
Do you know what this is? It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited from my parents. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan. It wasn't just the jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney? Yeah, or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you want it. That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try again. Still, there is something inherently violent even about dice rolls. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending, or an entirely different world. But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer. Of course, tell me what you have in mind. I think I have just the right one for you. You're a police officer, right? Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
A beautiful woman tossing you a gift. Whatever you do, don't overthink it. Mr. Smooth moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie.
Oh, what are the odds? The red one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay, and the blue one is the inverse. I believe these dice are your lucky charm, officer.
She winked back at you. Can you believe it? You truly are Mr. Smooth Moves.
You definitely need luck in Martinez. Was there anything else? I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure. What do you... Sure, I'm listening. Good. Oh, it's you again.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game. A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbell to the floor. For a moment, it feels like you're strong enough to succeed at anything you ever set your mind to.
Good technique.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. Ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Kvalsund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign. left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep. Disappointment washes over you as you stare into the almost empty ice cream maker.
A scoop of ice cream would have been nice, yes.
You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lukanen Kilde as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperatures.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework. Tiles on the cube are like a smooth draw. The filament slides into place. The speaker comes to life.
Good evening. Fortress accident en rue de... Please repeat. Is this the offsite copy? Good. Please repeat. No, that's not it.
Maybe it's the second part of the leitmotif you saw on the stained glass window.
Good. I've unlocked the offsite copy. After
Ka-ching.
Fortress accident, thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. It sounds like something cracks before the piece of paper starts filling up with pure black ink. Something's broken. Machines aren't supposed to behave like this. The paper is soaked with ink, its monochrome darkness spanning from margin to margin. It's not possible to make out any information.
Odd. Something is obviously broken here.
A single speck of white shines out from the shade. For some reason, the printer decided to spare this one tiny dot of paper. Looks like gibberish. Better get running again. This must be the information Sorna is looking for. She knows how to make sense of it. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Cast the filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Yes, what is it? Yes? No. That's the production schedule. I don't need it. The right filament memory has... Wait! A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? Jawiza. Of course! Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep, and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offsite copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was and the heads... I won't even get into the heads.
Valley of 1,000 Heads. You like the sound of that.
Thanks. Looks like it's the one. Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it. I have a theory. Lintel was able to divine the location of the anomaly from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment. Watch. What an intricate display of failure.
The paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming blackness. Not a single line of data stands out. This is wrong. Machines shouldn't behave like that. It's the abyss staring back at you. Sona doesn't reply, her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something. For her morning star.
Here! I found it! Hold on. Just give me a second. I'm almost...
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
done. I've got it! I found the location of the anomaly! I found the coordinates!
Great job.
Thank you!
Time for a celebratory drink, perhaps. Just a thought.
There. In the swallow. Think you can help me again? I need you to go move those water bolts for me. I need to double-check my calculations.
What an interesting proposition. Truly a task for the intellectuals. Solve it.
Figure it out? No. I don't need you to figure anything out. I've got a computer for that. Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third pole 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth pole 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick.
What? She only wants you to follow instructions. Nothing intellectually stimulating. In this task, a child could do it. Yes, but you like moving things around. Moving things around is calming.
Thanks.
It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire world outside those walls. Water inside the bowls stands still. Measurements have been marked down around the bowls, each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor. Oh boy, this is going to be good. It moves like a ghost. This task is an insult to your mental skills. Some water spills out of the bowl, wetting the floor. The lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumbs up from across the hall. Time to run back, or maybe walk. This is a sacred place after all.
Yes, what is it? Great. Everything should be aligned now. Yeah, nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones. If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes. I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be anything. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist? What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is... Maybe I'm just tired.
Let's think about this logically. Why would nothing be terrifying if it's, well, nothing?
Because it reminds us of death. And we humans tend to think that death is pretty scary. Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
The lieutenant takes a step back. And then, nothing. Nothing happens. As Sona Lokanen-Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard. Nothing but silence. You can hear some small animal cross the floor in the chancel. It's that quiet in the sanctuary. She doesn't talk. Her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state of deep focus. One hand cupping the headphone.
Damn it! Yeah, nothing happened, let's move on.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
No, my hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something. But this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is. You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything. But don't get your hopes up.
This can't be it. You should have a listen.
Yes, what is it?
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace. And then the pressure changes. It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
A better sound system? Alright, but where would we get one?
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of decorative stucco to crumble onto the wooden floor.
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
No. What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace. You mean the speed freaks? Of course, the speed freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. And you think they would help me? No, officer. I don't agree to anything.
She pauses, looking you in the eye. That's a bummer. A big bummer.
But most of the time I'm fully absorbed in my work with the radio computer. And there are still parts of the church I haven't had time to explore, so...
What she means is that she's ready to turn a blind eye if the need arises.
Sure. Let me know how it goes.
Hi again. So, how are things going? Yes? What's the deal? We are grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of a Nordic dance music. That's fine. We can manage. And what about the side business? Have you made up your mind? Of course. I meant the bar, obviously. Why am I even talking about this? It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours, maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an...
Other than kicking?
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with about a week's worth of mail as collected in there. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug, Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides out to greet you. The drawer slides. The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked. You're trying hard, but the data here is unbelievably dry. Something about containers. The drawer slides shut. You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because what wasn't an option? Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective. You can do that after hours.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Can I help you? You're already set for the night. Your door.
The door is closed. This door can only be opened. Still, the lieutenant gives you a quick glance. The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. It's not easy, but your bones are so tired from what feel like weeks of work on the case. You have to try. After what feels like hours, you feel you might be sleeping.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street.
Recorded in you. Forever. On Faraday.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time. The last time. The smoke in her mouth. The plotted flowers. The faces turning, changing.
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
All stuck on loop. Whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
It's too late. You're not made of nothing anymore. You're something now, Harry. I tried to drown you in the black water, but you re-emerged, kicking and screaming, running. And for what?
For Revacol. Always and only Revacol.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
'Cause only love can break your heart. Beep, beep, beep! The alarm is ringing, Harry! The disco circus goes on and on! You barely slept 3 hours last night!
Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world, one conversation at a time. You were right, brother. Back there, in your sleep, all the weak-willed delinquents, dilly-dalliers, foreign moneylenders, insane anarchists, and yes, the woemen. They've run this place to ruin. The game was rigged from before you even knew how the pieces move, soldier. It has, brother, but we are going to turn back time. A solemn gurgle emanates from your stomach. I will send you back to the time when the sun had not yet vanished, when it was still setting into the sea. The time of the suzerain, the time when love was still possible. To go back with the knowledge and the experience you now have, and to do it all over. Do it richtig this time. Protect the suzerainty, clean up the city, revive disco music, and get her back. You could save Revachon. You could be the man, brother. Second chances are not about questions. They are about actions. Are you ready to start taking action, brother? There must be others like you. Men who long for the days when words like loyalty and love meant something. People whose yearning for the past is so great they barely live in the present. Those are the men you need to find. Those are the guys who know. Think, maybe you've already met someone like that. Now we're making bank. A man with guts and a memory. I felt it too. He could be a treasure trove of wisdom. Who else? Now, there is a man who values the past with passion. And you know, that is not a saying. It makes no sense. Measurehead is exactly the kind of man who'd know how to step back into the past. Oh yes, Gary is exactly the kind of guy we want. He knows something. Who else? Bullseye. And that's the vibe we're looking for. Those are the people with answers. And by longing, you meant blatantly racist, right? 4 is a good number of traditionalists. It's plenty. Let's go see what they know. History will remember us. And this time we don't have to worry about her being kind. Praeterea Redia, Kingsman. Charge for Revachol. Charge for love.
Yes? What is it? Again? I can't believe this shit. Again? I can't believe this shit.
You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him.
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? Okay, that's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good. Okay. Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? I'm sure he's fucking flattered, but Kim is not part of his thought experiment. In this one, we're partners.
The lieutenant is silent.
No, because in this thought experiment, we're all police officers in a police station. We don't do crimes. We're not crime bros.
Come on, stop it.
You're not going to believe this, but police officers. Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lang. Oh, it's you, you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at
Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? Would you now, or would I be cramping your style? Never mind. Partner.
I'm not your partner. This union is temporary.
A little premonition for you, Lieutenant. Sooner or later, probably sooner, your new friend tells you he doesn't need you. He will then suggest you should fuck off. When that happens, I suggest you take his advice.
The lieutenant merely bows his head in response.
Let's be crazy. Would you now, or would I be cramping your style? Okay. How about you stop wasting my time and get on with whatever you were doing then? Neither can I, partner. Neither can I. Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. We're not wasting time. There is no time. You think he was hanged as a cover-up? To hide the shooting? Okay, well... I don't know. Why are you? Oh my god, there's more. You want something more?
Okay, The man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right? There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at, but still. Yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though.
Again? I can't believe... I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? Okay?
Jean, he said okay. Give it a rest.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again. Goodness, how is he? Did he say why he hasn't returned yet?
He's fine, ma'am. As we had suspected, he couldn't get back earlier because the water lock on the canal was broken.
Oh, yes. That's my Morel. But I am so relieved to hear that he's okay. Thank you for putting an old woman's heart at ease, if even a little.
You know, to hell with it. Let's have more cryptids.
Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about? Of course.
Hello, compatriot. You have something to discuss?
You've got to be kidding me. What is this, detective? I promise you it isn't. Just please make it quick. I'll organize my notes in the meantime.
My friend, I don't know what you're after, but I have to tell you, there's no turning back time. I've seen the demographic reports. I know what our experts say. Our greatest days as a people are behind us, and we're not going back. Nah, that's bullshit. We can't turn back time, but that doesn't mean we can just surrender to the savages. It's about preserving our heritage, our birthright. Trust me, brother, I've done the research. Fascist magic just ain't true. That's the question, isn't it? People think you and me got it so easy, but the reality is it's fucking hard to be a regular guy these days.
Is he serious right now? The rumbling in your stomach says there's something not quite right with this one.
You know, I get funny looks from people all the time. I know they're looking at my gut. I can see that. Big fucking deal. A guy put on a little weight. Who cares?
Alert. We detect major body image disturbance. He grinds a cigarette butt into the pavement and quickly lights another. In reality, there is no culture war, but there is a struggle for mating privileges. Always has been. And this man is outgunned and completely ill-equipped for this conflict. It starts with the genetic lottery. A few are born handsome, imposing giants, while most, like this guy, are just average. The less fortunate have an underdeveloped limb, a sense missing, or worse. Only the most average survive extinction-level events. That's a known fact. But there's a lot one can do with average, and this guy hasn't. Now past his prime, it's unlikely he ever will. While others dominate the killing fields, he will sink to the bottom of the mating pool. It's his defeatist, self-pitying mentality, a sense that the world owes him a mate because he perceives himself to be a good guy. He isn't interested in evolving, improving, or working for it. He thinks by just being, he is entitled to love and respect. But the truth is, there's 100 million men like him competing for every single female out there. And his attitude virtually guarantees he'll never come out on top. This really isn't about you right now. It's a vicious cycle he's unlikely to ever break. The lack of female affection makes him bitter. His bitterness, in turn, reduces his chances of gaining that affection. That's how he played the hand he was dealt. At least he's blissfully ignorant to the cyclical nature of his situation.
You still with us, brother? You're standing there like a glue sniffer. Time, yeah? Listen, man. Do you even understand how hard we've got it? How completely stacked the whole rotten deck is against people like you and me?
The lorryman looks at you like he can't decide whether he wants to smash something or break down in tears. The silence is heavy and uncomfortable.
No, I can't help you. And I'll tell you why. 'Cause there's no point, you hear me? Unless you believe in ancient fascist magic like some wannabe magus.
The lieutenant doesn't utter a word, but his face says, "I told you so." This fool is a colossal waste of time. There's no kingsman inside him, just self-loathing and entitlement. Let's keep searching.